New today, a federal lawsuit has been filed against Hamilton County District Attorney Cody Wamp after she filed a petition to evict people from the Budgetel in East Ridge last week. Attorney Robin Flores says Wamp broke the 14th Amendment.
He says Charles Burkhalter found out the morning of the eviction that the hotel was closing, and he has been unable to get any of his personal belongings. Flores says this violated the due process clause since Wamp's actions resulted in a seizure of his personal property and the money he used to pay for the room.
He goes back the next day and there's a fence out there. You can go out there now. They got it fenced off. He could, with a nastygram, posted on there, by order of the district attorney or whatever it reads. And he can't get anyone on the phone that runs the place to see if he can get his property.
Wamp says she's unable to comment on an ongoing legal case. Now, this is not the only court case surrounding the closing of the Budgetel.
Dozens of residents have banded together to fight the petition to evict hundreds of residents from the motel. Cornelia Nicholson joins us now in the studio with more details. Cornelia.
Well, Cindy, David, more than 100 people who used to live at the Budgetel are now part of a motion to intervene in the filing in hopes that they can once again have a roof over their head.
You really don't know until you see the reality of it, of getting your door knocked on.
Wednesday, the Budgetel was declared a nuisance by a court order petitioned by Hamilton County District Attorney Cody Wamp. Wamp claims the motel was a crime hub, citing that several sex offenders live there.
Dozens of children live at this location. Several of the sex offenders that live here, as of this week, have crimes on their record that are violence against children.
Rebecca Revels says her mother was one of the hundreds of people kicked out of the motel on Wednesday.
Finding housing for these folks before it was shut down would have been perfect, and it would have been done properly. But I just feel like there was a due process and it was not followed, and the rights of the people were stripped away from them.
Wednesday morning, Revels reached out to attorney Charles Wright with Wright and Woodward, who immediately took the case.
That's whenever I started collecting as many names as I could. I only had 80 at the time, and now I have over 150.
Wright filed a motion to intervene on Cody Wamp's petition for abatement of nuisance against the Budgetel, citing that the majority of tenants who had prepaid their rent were legally entitled to their apartments, and the court order violated the rights of innocent residents.
The reason we had to file the motion to intervene is because none of the residents were stated in any of these paperwork. So basically they had no right.
She's now looking to get in touch with as many residents from the Budgetel as possible in hopes the motion will allow their voices to be heard.
And I know a lot of people are against it. They don't want the Budgetel to be open because it's considered a crime hub. But at the same time, not all of those folks were criminals.
Now, the hearing for this case was set to take place this morning, but it was moved to December 5th. Revels says right now they're still working on finding housing for the people evicted from the motel. In the studio, Cornelia Nicholson, Local 3 News.